No more filling time. We just dive right in, Fritzy.
Just when we had a good bit, too. Just when we had a
I
good
know,
bit.
right? It was such a good name, too. It was clever of you. All right, let's roll. Yo, it is another edition of the IOS podcast. That was a bad, attempt to try and do the like how I feel with the Phillies. I tried to do a little like up and down there, and it was a disaster. So I apologize. Welcome to the IOS pod, sponsored by Miller Lite, official partner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Celebrate responsibly, Fritzy. This is like the most up and down 11-8 team that I ever remember. I mean, they're 11-8, like they're doing fine, like the same record they had last year, I believe, through 19 games. But it's like one night we hate them, and the next night it's all good. And that was this series. It was every other game. It felt like. Where you at? How you feeling, pal? Good morning.
Yeah, I'm trying to in an attempt to keep it consistent because that's what we do.
yes. We're never up or down. It's very right down the middle.
We're always just shooting it straight. We're right down the middle, and we keep where we are. So, like yesterday was more like congratulations. You had to win.
You won a game. Yeah. Like, well, especially after going up 5-1 in the first, then it's like just sweat it out. It's like we're not going to hit anymore. This is it. We had our inning.
No, the Phillies. There's no worse situation than them scoring runs early. They don't handle it well. They're horrible.
No. It's like, all right, we're done. We're good.
Bases loaded, no outs. Also a horrible situation.
I know. No one on 2 out, a much better spot than bases loaded, no outs for this Phillies.
And it was this series for me really was just jarring from the standpoint of watching a team that knows how to execute offensively. Like the Giants heading into it, this was before Thursday's game, or I think I was driving home. Fransky was mentioning it, and he said that like the Phillies have a higher team average, overall, I think by like 10 points than the San Francisco Giants. With runners in scoring position, the Giants are 65 points higher than the Phillies.
Wow. That, I mean, to be ahead in average and that far is like, that's really hard to do. Yeah, it's really hard.
Watching them just lace the baseball all around
I know.
The field.
How many singles up the middle did we see? It was like 500, just boom, right up the middle. Nice, easy single. Like every game, it's just like bang, bang, bang.
So I guess where I'm at with the team is that they're going to be fine from the standpoint of they're going to probably win somewhere between 88 and 92 games. I think the bullpen slowly is rounding into form when they don't have to pitch Joe Ross and they don't have to pitch Jose Ruiz in high lever spots. It's a pretty good bullpen.
Yeah, Romano's been good since the big everyone freak out outing. He's been good.
Well, and he changed his mechanics, which is we're always down for.
Oh, no wonder he's been good. If I had known that, I would have expected him to be good.
His leg kick was too high, so they.
I was saying that too. I was like, that leg kick was a little too high. I'm happy they figured it out.
A lot of moving parts, hard to keep moving parts, and when you got to pitch over and over again, it's about repeatability in your mechanics, James. Everyone knows that. So, so I just they're gonna be fine from the standpoint of they're gonna win games. It's just this offense is going to
drive us crazy. Yeah.
Like they're gonna drive us crazy, man, because like the runner in scoring position thing is infuriating. I mean, it's infuriating. They don't slug. Harper's rounding into form power wise. Schwarber's been great this entire year. Castellanos has been really good. They don't hit home runs. They don't hit the ball hard. They're gonna be fine from the standpoint of like they're gonna win games, but man, this offense, I think, is going to be a real issue for the entire season.
Oh, great! So,
well, the deadline.
The one big question mark that I'm sure Dave will nail it. The deadline. Yeah, I'm with you. It's like, look, I think that there was always going to be this thing, like we talked about after the way the last 2 postseasons ended, the Diamondback series, the end of that, then the way last season against the Mets ended, and the way they looked. Like we were always going to have these issues with the offense and the approach. And that was going to be a talking point no matter what. And it's crazy because they have worked on that. Like, that has been noticeable. They have walked more. Like, Castellanos is not swinging at every pitch outside, like, other than that one game where he got in the cleanup spot and then became that guy again for some reason. So weird.
And he swung at a
But
2-0 fastball.
every pitch had 5 strikeouts, and then it's like, take him out of the cleanup side. He's like, oh, we're good again. But, I knew it was going to be a thing. I didn't think that they would work on the approach and we could see it, and they would still be this frustrating, man. Like, how is it? They are so annoying to watch. Like, it is not fun on a nightly basis to watch this team right now. And to the point, like we've talked about, it doesn't look like they're having a ton of fun playing baseball right
now. Well, and that's where we said at the beginning of the year, it's like, I appreciate the business-like approach, but if things aren't going well, it also turns from business-like to this is no
Workman.
fun to be around.
Yeah, work. It becomes work, right? Yes, like becomes a job, and
it's easy. I just think it's easier in football to do that because football is once a week. It's naturally you got to be tough kind of sport, and the thing about baseball is how much of a grind it is because you play every single day. To be so, they do look pretty miserable, but to look so miserable for a baseball season, I think is really, really hard. It's like a hard thing to do. So I don't know. I think my re-updated feeling about the Phillies is it through, what is it, 2 weeks, 20 games, which is what
19,
about is that a game in the
games.
NFL? Are we officially at a game?
I believe 16 or no 7. So it's 17. So it's a little under. Or it used to be 16. It used to line up really nicely because it was 16 games. 16. You're about a 10th of the way through each year, or whatever it is. I guess where's Tucker when we name him? Like 50. We're definitely through the first game of an NFL season now, one way or another.
Okay. So I think my re-updated feeling on the Phillies is I still think they're going to win the World Series, but
good.
But
I'm happy.
But I think it's going to get rocky. I really do. Like, I think that there's going to be. They haven't hit rock bottom. We know that. I mean, like 2022 is when they hit rock bottom, where it's like this sucks or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But also, funny enough, by far the furthest any of these teams got was the one that hit rock bottom.
I know. But it was a magical
I do think there's something to that. I mean, was it 2 years ago? Remember the Rangers in August when they lose 10 straight or something like that? Mm-hmm. Was like the worst. Like, and then they won the World Series. I do think that, and it's a long season, but that it's a long season for a reason. I do think that teams can look bad, like not even, mediocre. They can look bad for a stretch of time and still win the World Series. Like, baseball is like that now.
Yeah, but I think with this team, I think it's going to happen earlier rather than later because I think something has to be shaken up here. And I know they won yesterday, and that was a good salvage. You salvage the series.
We asked for a split. Great. We asked for a split.
Always ask for it. I didn't need 11-4 and 10-4 in the
No, it would have been it was not great for the run differential crew, which we are a big part of. So yeah.
For sure. But I just think that they still need a shakeup. I think especially offensively, I think whether that's sending down someone who's been here for a couple of years, whether that's I don't think demoting Johan Rojas. I think that maybe it's bringing up Justin Crawford and bringing up Gabriel Rincones, where I don't know if he can really play anywhere because he's more of a corner guy than a center fielder. Even though Crawford they might view him more as a corner guy than a center fielder, but I think he obviously can play center field. And then I just think that there has to be something that happens here to change the DNA of the team. Especially offensively, pitching wise, fine. Bullpen wise, they'll find someone to come up, whether it's the deadline or whatnot. Offensively is the one that I'm talking about. That they look ripe for a shakeup. They look totally ripe because I think the hope was they lost to the Mets, and we said at that point, James, they obviously need a shakeup. Everyone can see they obviously need to change up the chemistry on this team. They didn't. They bet on them. They bet on them again, and they come out and look mostly the same. With a little bit higher walk rate, I guess that's how we could say it. They're still not hitting the ball hard, all this stuff. Whether it's moving on from Kevin Long, sure, if you want to do that.
But I do think that would be a shakeup. I think moving on from Kevin Long would do something. Because I don't think they're going to move on from Topper unless they're 5 to 7 games under 500 deeper into the season.
No. So I think again, I really do think that there's going to have to be some kind of shakeup here to wake them up and get them going. And whether that's a trade deadline, I would like for it to be the trade deadline, but I'm not getting my hopes up. the hopes up on that.
What a shame that honestly we don't talk enough. How many years we talked about the Dave trades, and look, Luzardo trade is an example of that. I mean, the Luzardo trade was a great trade. We said it in the moment, and look, Starlin Cabo could end up being a great player. Even still, that was a smart, good trade by the Phillies. But I mean, it is so sad that Dave Dombrowski has become a punchline at the deadline. Like, it's a joke now. Like, it's like we're all like, well, we know Dave's not going to come through at the deadline. It's like the opposite of what Dave Dombrowski was when he came here. Like, if we'd come in when they first started, we'd be like, well, at least we know he's going to make moves at the deadline and go for it. It's so weird.
Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I think there's going to be a really good run in the second half of the year. I think right now it's more treading water, but I would like to see. The other thing that's been kind of frustrating is that you don't really see the annoyance after losing to the Mets last year. Like I would like to see a little bit more fire from them, and it seems more like a malaise. It seems more like we're here, let's go do our thing. Let's roll the ball out and see how today goes. You're not really sensing that level of fire. Now I think obviously Bryce is talking a lot.
Bryce, yeah. I feel like I haven't seen Bryce smile during a game yet this season,
Is he talking after every game? I swear he's talking after every single game.
Yeah.
So, and obviously the power is starting to come, which is huge. I mean, Bryce cannot be a 25 home run guy. We need Bryce in the 32 to 38, 36 range. So, I don't know. I'm very conflicted with how I feel about the team.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And are. I mean, they're 11-8. They're 11-8, and at no point have we talked about them like a team that's 3 games above 500. Because it doesn't feel that way. And I guess if you take out the 3 Rockies wins, they're really not. But, I'm with you. It's been a very frustrating start to the season. And yet, like, they haven't buried themselves. Like, they're not the Braves. They're not 6 games under, 5 games out of first, 6 games out of first. Like, whatever. Like, they're right there. It's a really strange feeling, Jack. I mean, especially like if they had started like this 11-8 start in 2021 or something, we're like, all right, Phils, let's get going. Maybe. So it is obviously an expectation shift and all that. It makes sense, but it is strange. All right, let's get.
Well, it's a product. Hold on, it's a product of obviously what happened in the Mets series last year. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the Diamondbacks, the last 2 games, Diamondbacks tacked on to that, I think.
Yeah, and a couple things real quick on the Braves. They clearly missed Ron Washington. I think that was losing Ron Washington as like their kind of fun edge bullpen or bench coach. They've never recovered from losing Ron Washington. So I think that's it. Listen, I think someone on this podcast at the time said that was a big loss, and
You're right. I did. I remember saying that. That's a good point. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Points for James. But and then on top of that, because like let's say like if you look at the Phillies right now, 11-8, not doing again. The lack of execution on offense is quite startling. And to talk about executing on offense, it feels like we're talking about football and basketball. But in baseball, there is little things they have to do well. At the same time, like Bohm's not a 180 hitter. I assume at some point he's going to level out and be in the 250s. The Trea thing.
So that's right. Let's get into Trea because I want to get into some specifics with some guys. And I have 2 guys at the top I want to talk about. We'll get to the other one in a sec. His name's Aaron Nola. I think that's coming. But let's talk about Trea because Trea has not started the season great, both offensively, running. Got thrown out like easily in this. I was shocked how quick he got thrown out second. Bad jump, but like, what he hasn't been running, and when he does, he's not doing well. And then like, man,
his defense has been his best part of the game.
Oh, and it's been horrible. I mean,
it's not been horrible,
dude.
It was a bad play.
Went through his legs yesterday. Like, and then the other the one to make it 4-0 in the 2 games ago. I mean, how do you not even block that ball? I mean, come on, man. Like.
He had a nice spin play late yesterday.
He did. It was really beautiful. I think it was it's great. Man, where you at with Trea? Because it's not good, man. I mean, we're going to talk about Trea and Nola, and I look at those 2 contracts right now, and I'm like, I get scared. Like I actually get like bad butterflies in my stomach when I think about what those contracts are going to look like in 5 years.
I don't feel that way about Nola.
Well,
I mean,
we'll get to Nola. We'll get to Nola, but I mean,
yeah, the Trey thing's it's a huge problem. I mean, it's a huge problem from the standpoint that you're paying a guy that kind of money. It's taking you out of the ability to go get other players this last two off seasons because you have that big contract to keep banking on him. If we talk about him as a star player, I need to make sure he's a good player.
I mean, right now he's like right now he's at best their fourth best hitter at best.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Stott might be ahead of him right now.
Yeah, listen, Stott's had a good start to the year. And it's so. Would it kill him to get 2 hits in a game? It's 1 for 5s, it's 1 for 4s. He's getting a ton of at bats, and it's funny because I think he's got a hit in like 11 out of 12 games.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah,
but it's a hit. Like it's 1 hit. And now he did have the wind took back a home run from him the other night, so you got to factor that in as well.
It's a really good point. You're right.
Thank you.
You're right.
Thank you.
Yep.
We're a big woulda coulda shoulda pod.
Yes, we've definitely went down that path in the past a few times.
But the biggest problem with Trey not being a star it's just once you get past like Bryce as the best player on the team, fine. It's just when you see the Dodgers, right? And it's like they have Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, and Teoscar, and it's just like they have to make up that gap.
You look at the Mets; they have Lindor, Soto, and Alonso. If you want to put Alonso up there, but he's been a way better hitter this year than anyone on the Phillies. Like, and if nothing else, Lindor and Soto. Like the Phillies don't have that second guy. Schwarber has been great, but Schwarber, sure. He's not potentially one of the 15 or 20 best players in baseball. It's what Turner's supposed to be.
Well, and I keep saying, or I think a lot of people keep feeling like, well, he'll eventually turn on it. And the problem is like if he turns it on, is it still good enough? Like what version of Trea Turner are we now getting? I mean, again, I know he led the team in average last year. He was on fire. There was a stretch there where it was like, all right, there he is. Yeah, Is that guy still in there? I think is my big question. Like, is that guy? Can he still be that guy? And it's just there's. It's funny because for as hot as he can be, there's also like if you want to point to the positives and say there's the prolonged stretch of great play from Trea Turner. There's an equally, if not larger, sample size of being an average player.
And at times a abysmal player. Like before the ovation, like he was a bad baseball player for stretches as well.
So it's more of definitely hope that he's gonna turn into. I don't even need him to be a star. Obviously, I think that
honestly, I think that ship has sailed. Like maybe he'll have a month where he's a star, but I don't think Trea Turner will ever be what we hoped he would be.
But I would kill for 280 and 20 home runs.
Me too.
Would kill for it. Would kill for it. And
consistency, just some level of consistency. Just like I don't expect you to go 1 for 4 every night. Like that'd be awesome,
Well, and it's the 1 for 4. It's the weak pop outs instead of driving the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
It's swinging first pitch. Listen, this team has caused me to hate first pitch swinging more than anything in the entire world. I mean, between him and Bohm, Castellanos, and just you get 3 strikes. You get 3.
Use them.
Use them sometimes. I'm almost out of words with Trey. It's more of a hope than a belief. Would die for 280 and 20 home runs, but I think the idea that he is some kind of star. They need to find someone better than Trey, and they need to find that guy that's better than Trey and is on par with Bryce. That's their next thing. Maybe it's internally. I mean, dude, if it's Aiden, we'll die. If it's Justin Crawford, we'll die. But that's the biggest, because we at one point in this podcast in this offseason, we talked about how this was a pause year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it might be
We
creeping back.
talked about it being a pause here.
Yeah, and then you said this team's going to win the World Series, and I said you're crazy. I said you are out of control once again.
Yeah,
But part of that is again, that's the biggest thing they need, I think, is someone that is honestly, if they can be on par with Bryce as Bryce gets older, perfect. But like that's the thing that's going to take this team back into real contention because I don't think it can be Trea.
Let's get to Nola. You seem less concerned about the contract, which we'll get to that, but just the here and now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're start to of a season in his career. First time he's lost 4 straight games, all that stuff. And look, he hasn't been good enough. He's not even close to good enough. And it really goes back to last season. The playoff start last year in New York was not good enough. And it's classic Nola. It's, he'll have 4 out of or 5 out of the 6 innings he pitches. Whoa, there he is. And then I'll give up 4 runs in an inning and 2 homers. And this, that, like, it's like the guy just can't get through any of these starts clean. It's where are you at with Nola? Is it just as, and we've talked a lot. We know like he doesn't have the same, margin for error with his pitching. He's not someone who can rear back and throw 98 when he needs to and all that stuff. So the location, all that stuff is so important with him. But like, is this just a cold weather start the season? Don't freak out. Or are you starting to get concerned about Nola? Because the velocity's down on every single one of his pitches. Like there are, and look, he's going to be 32 in June, and he's pitched more innings than anyone in baseball, or almost anyone in baseball the last decade. So, like, are you starting to get concerned about Nola both now and what it means moving forward?
Yeah. So on the contract standpoint, I just think that when you view Aaron Nola as their 4, it makes it that much easier. Because I mean, he's
a lot of money to pay your 4, though. I mean,
sure, and
it is. I mean, you should be getting a 4 for like $10 million a year or whatever. 15 at most. He's in the 25, 27 range.
But Wheeler, Painter, Zard, Chris Sanchez, I guess
they got, yes, you're right. They don't need Nola to be an ace or a 2. They don't need it, but it's just the contract says.
Do you like
Zard?
I'm saying this with
yes.
I'm saying this with a smile, not being totally serious. Do you like paying the ace version of Taijuan Walker for $172 million? I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I know, but
he's taking down innings.
That's what he is. I mean, Aaron Nola is like the best innings eater. That's who he is now.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for a guy that's going to post every day, and that's going to give you 6 innings. So yeah, I guess I don't know. He just did this 2 years ago. I don't know why everyone's kind of freaking out. He did this in 2023. Do people remember the Aaron Nola discussion in 2023 when he pitched like a 4.5 ERA and everyone was freaking out then, and then he was okay in the postseason. They paid him a ton of money, and he was back to being Aaron Nola last year.
They had the pitching mechanical change. It was a mechanical change, Jack.
Oh, he looked at the first base dugout. I mean, let's grow up with the mechanical change. 2023 pitched.
Don't you dare.
2023 he pitched to a 4.46. In 2021 he pitched
to
a 4.
It is crazy. Hold on. You're right about that.
4.63.
How did he get that contract after that year? It was just the postseason. It's such a great point.
Of course it was just the postseason. Hold on. And he shoved in the last
Yeah.
So in the last 4 starts of the year, he pitched to a 3.7. And they said, there it is. This is our guy. The last 2 games of the year, he went 6 innings in each of them and helped pitch the Phillies into the postseason. So that's why they gave him the contract. And then he went shove city in the postseason. Just kidding. He also did not pitch well in the Diamondback series, but regardless. So like this is maybe we're just getting the mid 4 ERA Aaron Nola year, and then he'll be back to a 3.5 next year.
There it is.
I think that's what the track record would suggest. So yeah, I think with him, the velocity thing, I think it'll creep back up as the summer goes along. At one point, at least, I did see a 93 did flash across my scoreboard, and it's like, whoa, there it is. There it is. And I think at least the other night with the wind, his curveball is it's such a great pitch that in the wind it's just going to flatten out a little bit. And I know that sounds like an excuse, but it matters.
Just an explanation.
But it's why guys can't throw curveballs in Colorado.
Yeah.
So
the air's too thin.
I think the one glass half full with Aaron Nola after his last start is he had that stretch in the middle where he had through 20
He
straight
was,
strikes.
yeah. I got the 8 strikeouts or something overall. Like was solid in the middle there.
Yeah, I think that for him, the one thing as the season goes along is always predictability. And, if he's only going to throw to 2 quadrants, trying to maybe change that up a little bit. I
Do
thought
you feel like he's been nibbling a bit?
yeah, but I feel like he always kind of nibbles. It's just he's when he's in the strike zone, like when he got on that good stretch in the middle of the game, he wasn't in the middle of the zone. Like it was the
Yeah,
fastball's down,
painting.
change
He's
of
painting. Yeah.
and then he went up a couple times on some righties and then went right back down. And the problem is like when he tries to go up sometimes, that's when it leaks over the middle of the plate and it gets
And
absolutely
it
launched.
flattens out there, yeah.
So I guess I understand why we're talking about Aaron Nola. I can't get too up in arms because I think he's going to go on a nice run where he pitches like 6 innings, allows 3 runs of solo home runs,
Ooh.
and then he'll write himself out. And this is almost what I expect of him at this point, where he's going to hopefully eat a lot of innings, strike guys out, and he'll write itself right between. I do not think my preseason prediction of pitching to a 3.3 or 3.5. Don't think that's going to go very well. So we're
If
back.
here's the thing, if he does, it means he's going to go on a hell of a run right now. So, to get
Yeah.
from 6-6 to or wherever he's at 7-ish or whatever.
So I leave his last start not feeling too negative because I did think he had that stretch in the middle. Curious to see if he can translate it over to his next start. So next start will be very, very telling for me.
2 more things I want to get to, and then we'll get to Takebacks. I'm sure you have a lot of stuff other in there. I mean, we talk about it every week, but I mean, the center field situation.
Oh, yeah.
Any new thoughts? Marsh tweaked something. Maybe Marsh a phantom IL stint potentially. But the problem is you do that. It's like who's playing center field? You get Rojas everything. You put Sosa out there. Justin Crawford went 4 for 5 yesterday in AAA. Now had been hitting 250 prior to that, so probably not.
Yeah,
ready.
but let me correct.
Yeah. Please jump in here, please. That's why I'm going to you on this.
Yeah. So Justin Crawford was 4 for 5 last night. Now
couple steals.
Only one of those balls left the infield. So
okay. So a little Willie Mays Hayes action there.
Now one was a bunt. It was a great bunt. I was like, wow, that's playing the game the right way.
That's
and then
right.
He flipped the ball over like the third baseman's head, and that was the hit that did reach the outfield.
So he's not ready, is the point.
No, well, hold on. Now people will bring up his average before that and say 250. In 4 games before that, his average was 330.
Yeah,
so it's so like to do the average thing and the OPS thing this early in the season is sort of pointless. So
now he's not a lot of power, as you point out, like no homers. No. He's not really driving the ball a lot.
No. But again, here's the Crawford thing. And I don't think they would call up Crawford because I think now at the same time they did put him in AAA immediately, so maybe they would. I don't know that. But the Crawford thing is,
you think Cal Stevenson would get the call, like someone like that for if they did have an injury? You think it'd be like a Cal Stevenson and not Crawford yet?
I would go Oscar Mercado, but that's
or Mercado. Someone there is the point, like a guy who's been up and down before, type of thing. Gotcha.
I'm kind of fiending for Mercado. I was so mad after
they gonna give him Cole's number again, or
no? No, I would hope not. They Carlos Hernandez has Cole's number.
Thanks I forgot.
But I was so mad after they lost on Wednesday night that obviously couldn't sleep. So I was up till 12:30 watching every Oscar Mercado at bat from the Iron Pigs game.
It sounds like a really useful, good use of your time.
Yeah. So looks like he put together a quality at bat. But
he's a vet. Guy's been around forever. You know what I'm saying?
Sort of need Oscar Mercado. He's hit 294, the 775 OPS. Yeah, feed me.
He's played in the majors, major league experience. All right, last one I want to get to before we get to the take back.
Didn't even let me finish my Justin Crawford point.
You're right. Go ahead, finish.
Jeez, what are you?
I
diverted. In a rush to get out of here?
Oscar. Yes, I am. Always on a Friday. It's Friday. No, I'm kidding.
I don't care. Was it a beautiful day out?
Yeah,
75 and sunny.
Supposed to. So for those who don't know, I have a very obviously not that strict no recording on Fridays policy. We're here. It's my Emily and I go out to lunch every Friday. It's like our one thing we get to do every week. I never see my wife. You, as a family man, should appreciate it and understand it. So
I'm recording this from my sister-in-law's house. What are you talking about? We're all laying it on the line. We're all laying it on the line.
You're right. So I will say that was my bad. I apologize. I got excited about Oscar Mercado, and obviously,
it's hard not to get excited about Oscar Mercado. So I totally get it. When you see 294 and 775 OPS in AAA, and you think I need that on my team, I feel where you're coming from. So Crawford, I think that the case for Crawford would be, I don't think he's going to strike out. I think he has strikeouts in the minor leagues. I'm not saying he's like Stephen Kwan, but
he's no Luis Arias.
Yeah, I think he's going to put the bat on the baseball, and I think he's built for it from the standpoint of, obviously his dad's Carl Crawford. He has a big league feel.
It's not going to feel too big for him. He's not going to get up there and be like, "Whoa, look at the lights." Yeah,
and I think he's a smart player, by the way, and that's
grew up around the game thing. I think all those guys, like, when it's your whole life.
The frustrating part about Johan Rojas is he's not even a smart baseball player. Like, he can go track a fly ball, great, maybe the best I've ever personally seen. I didn't see Gary Maddox, I'm sorry, but from a tracking perspective,
don't get mad at me, guys, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But the throw the other night was so ridiculous.
Honestly, it's one of the worst throws I remember seeing a Philly make, and I whether the ball slipped out of his hand, like, I hope it did, because otherwise, like, what the hell? It is like, it's very rare that you're watching a baseball game, period, much as Phillies game, any game, and like a throw goes that far away from everyone. Like, it's a rare thing. That was one of the worst of it.
Yeah. So and it was interesting the other day that they started him in left field for the fourth time in his career. So I don't know what it means, but I think it's notable. Also notable, Otto Kemp started in left field last night for the first time ever, and he is raking at AAA. So yeah, this is all quite exciting stuff.
The biggest smile on your face by far this entire episode just happened without Kemp. All right, last thing, and then we'll get to Takeback.
Okay.
This is more of a, like, I'm not there yet, but I'm sure you're hearing it too. I think with the start and we're starting to kind of hear the topper hate again. I think that's starting to come out more and more. There are more and more people kind of getting angry. And I think one of the big things that Topper's doing that is not that big a deal, but it was something that played a role in Gabe Kapler, being jettisoned from the city and all that. The overly positive, like, talking, you know what I mean? Like, after Nola started the other day, well, he looked great second through fifth. It's like, or Brandon Marsh, he's really trying hard. Like, and I get it. I got to support your players, but I do think that Topper's overly positive kind of, way of talking about all these players and obviously the product itself, I think people are starting to get really annoyed with it.
Yeah, sure. I think
I get it. I'm not saying this is me. I'm saying that I'm hearing that because I'm with you. I don't care very much. Like, I think, like, one of those things where
there needs to be a level.
Be real. There
needs to be a level of honesty. Yeah. I agree. There needs to be a level of keeping it real, and I think that the players would respect that. So yeah, I guess I can get behind wanting to keep it more real. I also think players don't like being buried in the media, but sure. There's a nice balance that I think he needs to strike. My more thing with Thompson is, like, it feels like a little bit of I don't know what to expect on a day in, day out basis. Like, he's kept the Stott thing at leadoff. I think it's been fine. I mean, sure. The old school in me is like, hell yeah, like, get some speed at the top.
He's gonna work. He's gonna foul some balls off. Yeah.
Yeah, old school me is like, all right, that's nice. A nice little single up the middle to start the game with the possibility to steal second. Great.
No.
New school me is thinking about the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. If they get up at a big spot, do I want Bryson Stott taking that at bat? But again, if Trea's not going to take off and beat Trea Turner, then who cares? Like,
Stott's been a better hitter this year. Bryson Stott has been a better hitter than Trea Turner this
year. And I like the idea of Schwarber protecting Harper. It was evident that teams are going to pitch around Harper at this point.
Especially because of this is now a year plus of Schwarber crushing lefties. So it's one of those things where it's like, the whole idea is you don't want them bringing in the lefties and mowing down those guys back to back. Like, all of a sudden there's that liability isn't there anymore. Like if you're not scared of Schwarber facing a lefty, if you like Schwarber facing lefties, then all of a sudden it doesn't matter the lefty.
Yeah. So but the thing that I thought was the thing that's been interesting to me is it feels he's like a little panicky, and
Yeah, he changed the lineup immediately. Yes, he's definitely a little panicky.
but the perfect example of this was, he says Marsh is going to sit for 3 days.
I know,
and then
one day.
One day he's back because he looked good in the cage. What is that? What is that? So I think he's kind of reaching a little bit in some of these instances. I also think that it's evident they're an arm short in the bullpen, even with Jordan Romano.
And look, a bat short in the outfield. I mean, like it's there are spots
third
where
straight year.
Yeah, so look, I get it. I do want to say, like, I think Topper is hamstrung in some spots, and to your point, the bullpen thing, it's like, yeah, like we talked about earlier in the year, you can't pitch Alvarado, Strom, and Romano every game. Like, you got to have other guys step up. So,
and I think he's had a good feel of when to get starters out of the game this year. Like, he's not leaving them out there to
agree.
Draw, Although now he's in a tough spot in the Nola thing, because do you want to rush to get Jose Ruiz in there, or do you want to just let Nola see if he can work his way? So that was, again, a bit of a tough situation. And if the full bullpen's there, again, last year that's Kerkering coming in that spot, and now Kerkering's having to pitch in the 7th, 8th because you don't have a good bridge guy. So regardless, the Thompson positivity thing, I would like a little bit more keeping it real and that kind of stuff. Ultimately, if they win, I don't think it's gonna matter, and people will be fine. I think strategy wise, he's been mostly fine. I just a little bit of the panicky stuff has been the one thing that I've certainly noticed. So we'll see.
All right, I agree.
You ready for this Marlins series?
You ready for this buddy.
Marlins series?
Yes, please.
Sandy versus Wheeler tonight.
That'll be fun.
But their pitching obviously their pitching is probably taking a step forward. Although I think did they avoid Meyer in this series?
I think they do. I'm not 100%, but I think so. I'll check while you take back.
And my boy Eddie. They say, it's Cal Quantrill tomorrow, and then Jesus pitching on Easter Sunday.
Revenge game for Jesus.
Yeah, man, it's if that's not baseball, I don't know what is. Jesus Luzardo pitching on Easter Sunday against his former team. I mean, that is
bad blood there,
Oh man. All right,
going up against Connor Gillespie.
I know. I can't.
It's not Connor. It's not Connor. Connor's the basketball player, right? Gillespie.
No, I think it's Colin.
Oh, it is Connor. I was right. Okay, so I was right. My gut instinct was right. Yay.
Yeah. Yes.
He's got a 6.63 ERA this year, so that's
good. That doesn't matter. You know that. That doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't. You're right.
So you know how when they got Brandon Marsh the first time. Or not obviously the only time, but when they got Brandon Marsh, and we said to ourselves, "Wow, look, a center fielder can go catch a fly ball and throw to some bases."
Yeah, we were beaten down.
Now, where I've reached is with the outfield now is I just can't wait to have someone out there that has like a hose. I am so sick of these lollipop throws from our outfielders. I mean, Castellanos' arm, dreadful.
I mean, Harper's the last time we had an arm out there, right? Not like he had the best arm ever, but Harper could throw.
Right, pretty damn good arm.
That's what I mean. Like I'm saying, like Harper's like the last good arm we've had out there, I feel like.
Schwarber, just the other day, that throw home. Took 100 years to get there.
Yeah.
Just
Kepler's like he's good at keeping it on line, but like there's no juice by it. It's always bouncing to the plate. Like
the Rojas throw.
And then you see like if you see that Willie Abreu throw from like a week and a half ago or whatever.
Huh?
Can we get a dude like that? I mean, he basically threw a strike from right field to third base, like a 90-mile-per-hour strike from right. Like, can we see that ever?
It'd be so fun. That's my new dream. It's my new dream in the outfield.
It's a high hope stream now. I'm fully on board with
you. Jordan Romano looking much better. Need him, by the way. Really need him. He made a nice mechanical adjustment, I guess. Fastball starting to tick back up, starting to get some depth in the slider. What a time. Alvarado a little bit.
Got the sweet stash going, too. You got to love that.
Alvarado a little shaky. a little shaky recently. So I don't know. Maybe they try Romano in the back of the bullpen. No idea, but that's one to certainly watch. What else do I got here? I have one draft thought. I'm sorry, but you would like this.
It's okay.
Trust me. This will be you'll like this. So there's this guy in the draft. He might go around where the Phillies are selecting 27th. He'll probably go higher. He throws 102 miles an hour in high school.
Whoa. It's like Ben
Yeah,
Joyce over here.
yeah. And I think he's thrown a no hitter last week. His name's Jack Bauer. And
No. Oh my
yeah,
God. I couldn't be more in on this. I'm so in on this. Oh my God. I need Jack Bauer on my team. I need Jack Bauer on my team.
the amount of 24 memes and 24 jokes we could make.
Like he's coming in, they could be the
Oh,
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 it's so good.
the former phone, like the bullpen phone could be the former CTU phone.
I love this. You were right. I love this. And now I have never had a draft crush the same way that you do. I need Jack Bauer on the Phillies. This is amazing. Can you imagine? Go ahead. I was going to say, can you imagine? I mean, you played high school baseball. Can you imagine seeing 102 in high school? Like, that seems ridiculous to me. I would have just put the bat down and been like, all right, I quit. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for allowing me to play with this not human on this field. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Well, I was thinking about high school baseball the other day, how, we'd just be done in science. Like, this guy just has to go to science class and then
Exactly,
also
yes.
go
Dude,
out there and throw 102.
the science building was like if you could hit it off the science building, it was like, oh my God, what a tank shot. Like the science building on the field. Like, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, this guy's in homeroom, and then he's gonna go out in the afternoon and throw 102. But yeah. So I was trying to explain to some younger friends of mine, and I was like, I need this guy in the draft, and they're like, I don't get it. I'm like,
No.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah,
If anyone's out there looking for a TV show, you're stuck in the mud TV show wise, go back and watch 24. Now it probably looks a little campy now, like it might not hit the same.
Dude, that first season when I live as it happened, watching 24, I was like, this is my favorite show of all time. Like I was so into it in the moment. It was so different, so fun. I think seasons 1 and 3 or 4, I think it's 4 particularly, are like high level stuff.
It was the first show that I really like binged and got into. There's nothing better than like it would air Monday nights at 9, and then Tuesday, just in the hallways, all we would talk about is last night's 24. It was what a show. What a show. Chloe.
It's a bit of a forgotten one. We don't get it doesn't get the credit. I did President Palmer, the whole thing. Yeah, I'm with you.
President Palmer.
Dennis Haysbert. That's Pedro Serrano. Come on.
Man, what a show. What a show. Speaking of shows, I think we sleep on how great Winnie the Pooh is. I just want to get that out there.
Wow, was not expecting that. Sure,
Winnie the
Pooh's a class. Tigger, Piglet, it's good stuff. Eeyore.
Been watching a lot of Winnie the Pooh with Walk. So Walk and I, we watch Winnie the Pooh in the morning because he has a life-size Winnie the Pooh. So whenever he sees Pooh on the screen, he treats it like a hero. He's like, "There's Pooh,"
Love it.
So it's I was a big Winnie the Pooh kid, and now I get why.
The transfer, I love that. That's a beautiful
goated show. It's a goated show.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh's a classic. Do you ever like to just poo around your house, aka just wear a t-shirt and nothing else?
No, I can't do that.
No. I don't.
That's a big old
move,
no
right?
for me.
It's a big move right there. The poo around the house. Yes.
And then I think final thing here is, I mean, what loser comments from Juan Soto? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, I know.
If I was Pete Alonso, I would be furious. If I was a Mets fan, I would be like, is this guy kidding me? If I'm a Yankees fan, you chose them for $5 million more, and he could have just stayed and played with Aaron Judge. Like those comments about how I had the best hitter behind me and I'm never getting
unbelievable.
Oh my!
I can't believe it. Like he let it out of his mouth. This guy's been in baseball for 7 years. Like what happened?
James, they're paying him $750 million.
Yeah.
billion, and he's saying I don't have any help behind me. When the guy behind him is sitting at 400.
His contract, yeah, Alonso's been phenomenal. His contract is more than double Bryce Harper's. I mean, think about that. You could double Bryce's, and it's still 105 million short of Juan Soto. By the way, great nickname. I think it was Frank Fleming who tweeted. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Another pathetic at bat from Juan Soso. I was like, what a name, dude. Juan Soso is phenomenal.
Juan Soso is high level.
That's high level stuff right there. Like that is like really great stuff. I'm happy that I know that nickname now and I could use it. I feel like honored to be a part of Juan Soso.
Yeah. And then I guess if there are any injuries here, it seems like they say Castellanos and Marsh are going to be fine, but at the same time, James, I've heard them say they're going to be fine, and then they're all of a sudden on the
IL. Yeah, I mean, Rob Thompson just did tell us that Marsh was sitting for a few days, and it was one, so you can never believe anything here.
Yeah, but we're that much closer to Rincones, Otto Kemp, or Justin
Crawford. Oh, let's go.
That's exciting. Or Oscar Mercado, my bad.
Can you imagine if Nick does miss time? Like, we're already the worst outfield. I mean, like,
I know,
he could be the worst hitting outfield in the history of the sport, potentially.
He's been so good, and it's still like, well, hold on, what about Rincones? You know,
right.
So it's definitely not a well-adjusted position to be in, but I would love a nice little youth injection with this team. The nice little, final thing, I promise, I really do think Crawford can bring that. I don't know how great of a player he's going to be on the field. I think as he gets older, he'll continue to be better. But I think from the standpoint of gets a bunt down, plays okay defense, steals bags, puts the bat on the baseball, and can make some exciting things happen. I think he could do that. I'd be surprised if they bring him up. I think they would do what you said, like Stevenson or Mercado before. But if they feel like they need a spark, I think Justin Crawford would bring a spark, and I certainly would not poo-poo the idea of bringing him up.
Love it. 2 or 3?
Yeah, but like a convincing 2 or 3.
2 or 3, but strong 2 or 3. I agree.
Can we mix in a laugher? I don't like this current state of the podcast and the final out where it's just mad all the time. I want to be happy. I can't just be happy thinking about the prospects. Although Aiden, he's heating up and ready.
Heating up.
He's got 5 hits this series, so good to see. Like that brings me so much joy. But I also want the real team to bring me joy. I want to be positive. We want to be positive. Let us be positive and let us believe back in the baseball team.
Well said. Couldn't say it better myself. He's Fritz himself.